Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with The Sopranos. Last time around, what the hell was it called? Luxury Lounge. It was an Artie episode where Artie was having troubles was it Vesuvius? What the hell is his restaurant called? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care about Artie. I gave up on caring about Artie a long time ago. He's having some troubles. None of that really is important. And Chris met Ben Kingsley. That's what last episode was. So yeah, yeah. That's it. That's literally it. Let's move on. Let's get into this episode. Here we go. We're starting strong.
You sure you're alright? The incision?
Yeah. I think he's happy. I'm kind of amazed he's still in New Hampshire. Like, you'd think he'd get the hell out of there, get as far away from as he can.
AJ's practicing?
That's a first.
Trying to drown you out. Dude, who the fuck are these guys? Damn, have your friends been there the whole time they've been fucking?
You selling your drums?
I need cash. I don't play them anymore.
Those drums were a gift from your father.
Hey, I don't want to sell them. If you guys hadn't made me get such a crappy job, I wouldn't have to.
Oh, this is our fault.
You know, that haircut is way better than what it used to be.
I do what you guys want. Don't I deserve some kind of life?
No. Trouble with AJ. It's another day that ends in Y. Vito, what are you doing, man? Oh no. The firefighter with a mustache.
You got a kid.
I wish I could. I'm drinking water right now.
So, Uncle June, what are we gonna do about him?
We're gonna have a nice day.
It's gotta go through corporate.
How do you think corporate would feel if, for the sake of argument,
For the sake of argument.
someone threw a brick through your window?
They've got like 10,000 stores in North America. I don't think they feel anything.
What if, God forbid, it wasn't just vandalism? What if an employee, even the managers say, was assaulted?
You know, he kind of looks like a melted Bill Maher.
The numbers don't add up. I'll be gone, and somebody else will be here.
Well, there's got to be a way to, like, work it out, you know?
Vince, good morning. How's your book coming?
Okay.
As
He's
I
writing a
told you,
book.
you're always welcome to join the other guests for breakfast.
Dad says if your dishwasher is newer than 5 years, you don't need to use the pre-rinse cycle.
Oh, this is why he didn't get the breakfast that day.
The censors into thinking that the dishes are cleaner than they really are.
Just a bunch
I gotta go
of
right.
people out there that you don't want to talk to.
I could do that. No problem.
Now wait here, I'll get you Viagra.
Anthony Soprano.
Yeah.
Juliana Skiff, Century 21. You got a minute?
Sure.
Sure, why not? Are we talking a minute or a minute?
No, thank you.
You know, I don't know how you do it. I can't even write a letter.
Meh.
You know, I saw Graciano fight Sugar Ray in 1952. I took a train to Chicago. Maybe you should interview me.
Maybe I will.
I thought you were writing a book
This
about
old man's
Rockamafia.
cock blocking him.
Maybe you're working too hard.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, that just like this.
lonely sometimes, being a writer.
You get used to it.
Eh.
Hey, Dad. I left my science project in the back.
Don't lose my glue gun.
Oh, he has a family. That old man's just like, you're gay! I can see it!
See? When you hold your knife with your blade facing your opponent, you got a lot better control. Plus, you protect the floor.
Ah, Blockbuster.
You got the tip.
Young people today are bombarded with so much information, so much input of every kind.
Yeah.
Consequently, true adulthood is delayed. Sociologists say that 26 is in fact the new 21.
And the new 26 is what?
Eh.
I'm 46, so that means I'm what? 35?
What is 28? Out of curiosity, because
My
whatever it is, I
father
probably
an
is.
old
Oh my
man.
god.
Capo di tutti capi.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
you?
I could give you a massage.
What? Yeah, you could.
Yeah. Nearly
We all good?
2K.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, maybe you cut him loose like the prodigal son.
It's a victimless crime.
Marie is a victim. Her children are victims. They've done nothing. And they're forced to live with the shame and humiliation. I gotta be frank. In your father's day, we wouldn't be having this conversation. A Fanoik and his crew, he knew how to handle that.
That's a word.
I sympathize with
I don't know if I can put that word up, but
Let's not make a beef where there isn't one. Fundamentally, we are in agreement on this issue. But I'll handle it.
damn.
You know,
I
I
mean,
saw
good.
you on TV.
That's how you do it.
When you're
Well, he's my great uncle.
So isn't your dad gonna do something?
Like Grunkle Jr.
No. The Immortel.
We don't talk about that with outsiders.
Cool. But I mean, he's not just gonna let him get away with it, is he?
We can't keep letting him get away with it.
Well, I'll probably have to do something.
Really?
Oh, that'll go well.
I'm sorry all this had to happen. I never meant to hurt you.
Brother, you better get out of there.
Just come back.
It's a little more complicated than that.
He's gonna fucking kill me.
It'll be all right. But I've been reading online. There are these church groups. They could cure you of this.
Marie,
Well, what are you gonna do? Never come home?
I'm working on that.
Working on it.
Meantime.
Hi, Dad.
Hey there, champ. You been good? You been behaving?
Yeah, you know. Dad?
I gotta go. You take care of your mother, okay?
Damn. He needs to get the fuck out of there now, because if she still got that number on record, then he's got to move.
That experience made me appreciate life. It's short. It can end at any time, and if you got the chance to do something that
If
might
you
make
got the chance
happy,
to fuck a real estate agent, you go for it.
Thanks for the drink.
Damn. When was the last time he was ever rejected like that?
I saw that guy in the field the other day. When we were practicing dummy drag, he spent the whole time in the bleachers, staring.
Yeah? Vince, come here. Join us.
Next month. Last year, Hinsdale whipped our butt in that ladder carry.
Wow.
Is that a deuce?
It's interesting they all,
Bad boy.
like, they recognized it,
Chromed out the forks.
and it's just like, no, screw it.
You right?
Like a mustache man, he's going
I always
for
wanted
it.
a panhead.
Damn.
Fuck you doing? What are you, some kind of
Guess I made a mistake.
You sure as fuck did.
Listen, Closet Queen, you can't handle it. Don't send out the signals.
Oh, Jesus. No. Oh. I mean, this is a fucking firefighter. No. Oh.
Dirty fighter, huh?
Oh, Vito, what are you doing?
I'm not just partying there, right? I'm learning. I see what works, what doesn't. Right? I can have a great
Interesting.
club and really successful. And if you guys care so much about my future, then why don't you stake me?
in a club? Get the hell out of here.
Wait, you pick up the garbage.
I mean,
in
you
lot
want
of
to be a
clubs in New York.
businessman.
And you know people. You could help me.
Get your job at Beansies and you can learn the business from the ground up.
It's a fucking pizza parlor, right? Not a club.
It's the service industry.
Why are we even having this discussion? You're going back to college next semester.
See? This is just what I mean.
Go to school for
You guys don't
business.
give me any support in anything I want to do.
Maybe we should get him a club. Give him some responsibility.
Throw him in at the
Maybe he'll
deep
rise to
end.
the occasion.
I think it's entirely appropriate for you and Carmela to tell AJ you have certain expectations of him, particularly since he's living in your home. The most important thing is that you and Carmela are in agreement on the issues, that you don't undercut each other or act at cross purposes.
Well, that is straightforward advice. Thank you. There's a nice jacket. You know what he could do with a beard? It'd make him look older.
Sopranos, what's going on? Welcome back.
Although, I mean, now that he's cut his hair to look better and he's got that jacket, he looks very swish.
There you go, Corrado.
How come I don't get no mail?
Maybe you need to write some letters. Start a correspondence.
Lying cocksucker. They throw my mail out.
He's just
Your
gonna go
uncle is
fucking
having
try to
dinner,
stab
but
him?
You can see him.
I mean, he's not gonna go through with it.
Anthony! My nephew.
Yeah, which one?
Take me home. I want to go home.
Knife!
Oh!
It's not my knife.
Well, I didn't get very far with it, but... We have to get away from the police station so I can beat you.
My stomach hurts.
Stupid fucking moron.
You realize what could have happened to you if we didn't have connections?
I guess your heart was in the right place, AJ. But it's wrong. Come on.
Yeah.
What?
You're a good guy, and I'm very grateful.
Well, you're a fucking hypocrite. Like, 'cause every time we watch Godfather, when Michael Corleone shoots those guys in the restaurant, those assholes who tried to kill his dad, you sit there with your fucking bowl of ice cream and you say it's your favorite scene of all time.
You gotta grow up. You're not a kid anymore. You hear me? You gotta grow up.
Okay, that's a start.
First of all, your mother does not find out about this. How about your apartment instead?
Good idea. Want me to give you the address?
Well, I remember the glove factory. See you around 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see you then.
I don't think he thought that through. Yeah.
Sometimes you tell lies so long, you don't know when to stop. You don't know when it's safe.
Lyle.
I hear you.
Dressing him up to go fuck some lady. Maybe he won't do it. Maybe he'll just sign the papers and leave. Vito got a motorcycle.
Get used to this tour. What?
Oh, damn. Ooh. I mean, this is an ideal place to fuck someone. So.
Anyway, I was thinking maybe you could talk to your dad who could send someone to lean on this prick a little and get him to give me my money back. Sopranos the man!
They don't care who you are. Just who your father is.
Okay, title ID. There.
It's not the sexiest thing in the world.
Okay, phase 1. Sign here.
Oh my god. This is not... Damn it. I was kind of hoping this would be the one woman that he doesn't get, but... I don't know why I thought that. No, you can't do it. he backed out. That's something.
Did you take anything? Cocaine? Amphetamines?
No.
Has anything like this ever happened to you before? Do you have a history of panic attacks?
Meh. Well, I wish I could sleep as gracefully as Carmela.
Tony?
I got a kid in college. Where are my fucking eggs? The fuck is happening to this neighborhood?
Well, that's interesting. Juliana is played by an actress named Juliana. That's funny. Well, it's another day that ends in Y. As in, why are you like this, AJ? But, I give a little credit to this compared to the last episode. Because this kind of has the same issue as the last episode. Of, here's this character who's been going through the same story for 6 seasons, and nothing has ever changed about it. However, I will give a little credit to this episode that something might change after this. Now, something might change with Artie, you know? Something might change with Artie, but one of the things about last episode that was kind of disappointing was pretty much knowing that that wasn't going to continue. Now, something doesn't necessarily have to continue. It can be a very self-contained episode, but the problem is Artie's problem was not resolved by the end. He was just, put through the ringer, basically, And that is sort of a problem, put that in quotes, that is a problem that I kind of have with some of these episodes in this show. That we set up this thing, this is the topic of the episode, but then it doesn't really get resolved. Like, it's not really that there's a beginning, a middle, and end. There's a beginning, a middle, and then it stops, Like, there's no through arc of a story that resolves itself by the end of the episode. Now, that leaves it open to being resolved in another episode. But a lot of times that just doesn't happen with this show. I can't really think of other examples throughout the seasons, but there have been other episodes like that. And last episode was definitely like that, where it's like, there's the beginning, Artie having some troubles. There's, all the rising action of all the tensions happening with his restaurant staff and everything, leading to pretty much a breaking point, where Tony tells him, nobody wants to hear you talk. And then there's supposed to be a falling action, which there is, of him, cooking the rabbit. And there's supposed to be a resolution to get it out, but it just falls. And it just stops. And that was the end of the episode. And we don't get a resolution of that storyline. And the same can be said here with AJ, that AJ, for 6 seasons, has done nothing. Absolutely nothing, Like, how many times have we had Carmela and Tony and AJ all yelling at each other, How many times do we have to question, was Carmela a good parent to AJ? How many times do we have to hear some of this stuff? We've heard it non-stop for 6 seasons. Maybe we hit a breaking point. But maybe we didn't, Because there was that event planning thing, Tony and Carmela got an idea of maybe something that AJ might be interested in, She heard that maybe event planning was something for AJ, that he was kind of asking around about that for colleges, The next time we heard about that is Tony being like, oh, you should take notes from this if you're going to go into event planning. And he's like, event planning? Whoever told you that? And it's just like, I'm going to jump off a bridge with this character. Like, what are we doing? So that's the thing. It's just like, what are we doing? You know? How many times can I see AJ failing at his life before you do something? Write a story about this. Like, that's kind of one of the problems with this show, is sometimes, and it's only sometimes, a lot of times this is not the case, but sometimes you just get an episode and it's just like, well, that was just scenes, you know? That was scenes of things happening, but what's the story there, you know? And in fact, it's weird because the actual story, where, you know, it actually goes and resolves, that's Vito in this episode. Vito has that. He's starting off, he's still in New Hampshire. You have the rising action of him being attracted to Mr. Man, whatever his name was. Was it Jim? Was that his name? The saxophone's going crazy, but he gets attracted, more and more attracted to Mr. Fireman, until the peak of that, which is the fight that they have, because he cannot accept those feelings. He's too scared. Then you have the falling action of seeing him regret that, until you get to the resolution that he talks to him, buys a motorcycle, and then they go next to a little pond and then they fucked. That is a story. That is how stories are written. And I know, half of the time on this show, there's not a story in the episode, and that's by design. I can very clearly see that as by design. But as a viewer, particularly one who has to discuss this in a YouTube video, otherwise, what am I doing with this content? I'm trying to do something here. It is frustrating because I'm just like, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say after like 70 episodes of AJ not going anywhere? And it's funny, I actually watched a couple months back, Moist Critical actually made a video on The Sopranos, and he talked about, he hadn't seen The Sopranos before. He got through at least like the first 4 seasons, maybe season 5 as well. And that was his biggest complaint too, is that AJ just does nothing and adds nothing to the story, really, And the thing is, AJ does add at least to Tony's struggles, Like, Tony has, even in this episode, Tony has a bit of a story with AJ, but AJ doesn't really have a story. Not a complete story, anyway. Because, again, we don't get that resolution, it just drops off, We hit the climax, but then we have nowhere to go. There's not a resolution. Now, again, you would then logically think, okay, if the resolution to this story is not in this episode, it will be in another episode. But you would probably think the same thing about Artie. Last episode, Artie had the exact same thing, where he didn't really get a resolution, it just kind of stopped. And it's like, well, we're leading to a resolution where it could. And Artie was not in this episode. And it's not resolved. Maybe it'll be resolved later, but maybe not. I don't know. It's weird when I pull my hair back because I'm just like, oh, I can hear things now. It's like, man, you don't really realize how much your hair blocks. It doesn't even really block, but it's just like how weird it is to pull your hair back. Anyway, that's a non sequitur. But yeah, it's like we've almost there. We almost got a story out of AJ, which is more than can be said of most episodes that center around AJ. We got something, the struggles he's been going through, leading up to the climax, which is trying to kill June. And then you have the falling resolution of, talking with Tony. It's like, you gotta grow up. You have to be better than me. You can't have these childish thoughts. You do have to grow up. Not that your feelings are invalid, but you have to go about this in a mature way. And then 2, AJ having the panic attack, he realizes something. I think he realizes something. That, he's kind of looking around now and he's like, what am I doing? And it's like, okay, and how does this all resolve? Oh. Is it going to be resolved next episode? I don't know. I guess that's the, tune in next time and hope that gets resolved next episode, but it might not. So, I don't know. I just took a quick little mental break just to kind of get me out of that sort of funk I was having about the episode, and I was in a little bit of a funk over something completely unrelated to everything we're talking about. So we're good now, but I just kind of need to get that off my chest. Just man, it really is the thing with this show, which is this show is really fucking good, but there is a part of me that really thinks that lack of a story is both a gift and a curse to this show, where it's it's a gift in that, it makes it unique, it's not just, pretty much everything that came after it, like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and I love those shows. I love those shows more than this show, and this, the lack of the, ongoing story arcs and the, and the lack of these stories, the more that it is sort of a almost slice of life show, does make it stand out. Even though it's pretty much the first, it's the godfather of this prestige television, basically. But the fact that it has this sort of element to it does make it more unique than all the prestigious television that would come after it that was inspired by this show. But it does just kind of drive me crazy when I sit here and I'm like, okay, cool. AJ got the message. Maybe he'll clean up. Maybe he learned something from this. But why should I think that is the case when that has not been the case for 6 seasons? We've literally gone nowhere with this character for 6 seasons, Because, you can say, well, now we've hit him at his lowest, now we're going to start building him back up. And it's it took you that long to get there, And I thought he was already doing that. I thought that's why they were threatening military school. And then that didn't work out. And then nothing came of it, And it is a thing of, are Tony and Carmela good parents or not? And it's just no. No, they're not. In the same way, we talk about, well, is Tony a toxic person? Fucking yes. Yes, he is, And they're both terrible parents, and they don't follow through on this stuff, And don't get me wrong, it is difficult, It is very difficult, because sometimes I sit here and I think, what do we do with this kid, What do we do with this kid? And I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't have a kid, I'm 28 years old. I don't have a kid. But I look at all of this and it's okay, but that's the thing is it's not even just a thing of well, if I was a parent, what would I do? Could I imagine that? But I'm not a parent and stuff. Is but that's not the real issue here. The issue is, as a writer, what would I do? Because that is the difference specifically, That is the difference specifically. Is we're not talking about real people. We are talking about fictional characters. And it's okay, what would I do with this character? And it's honestly, at this point, it kind of feels if you're going to do something with AJ, why couldn't you do it earlier? When all the previous seasons, after season 2, basically, when those previous seasons, were more that sort of episodic, self-contained thing, and they didn't really focus on the overarching stories like in season 1 and season 2, why not do something then? Because if it's all set up, I feel like we were set up 2 seasons ago. I feel like at the end of season 4, we were set up for a really good story with AJ. But then we come back to the root problem, in quotes, that this show sometimes does not have a story. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and that does make it frustrating. But it makes it interesting, it makes it unique, but it also makes it not my favorite of these prestige television shows. It's great. I've been enjoying watching this, and there is a ton of stuff to love about this show. But for me, it's that sort of thing that holds it back from reaching the levels of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, you know? And maybe because I watched those first, maybe I kind of put too much of a standard on this show. I guess you could relate that to AJ and Meadow. You know? Actually, that's kind of funny. But it's like I hold this show to such higher standards because I've seen something much better. Something more successful. You know, that's debatable. But I've seen something that is, to me, better. And figured out what it wanted to do and executed that better than this show. Which I guess is exactly how Tony feels about Meadow and AJ. Well, that's funny. That's a funny little allegory we were able to create. This show, to me, is AJ. It's like, we almost get somewhere, and then it stops, and it's just like, man, I thought we were going somewhere. Why aren't you like your sibling? Why aren't you like your sibling? Even though The Sopranos came before those two shows, but because I watched those shows first, you know? That's kind of funny, I will admit. The irony is not lost on me as to how I view all of these shows, but that's me. That's me. You know? It's my frustrations with the show, you know? And don't get me wrong, there are frustrations I have with Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. I think the first 2 seasons of Breaking Bad are good, not great. It's not really until season 3 that it really gets good, you know? And even when it does get good, I feel like the world building of Breaking Bad is not as high as it is in Better Call Saul. So I have problems with all these shows, but still, it's just, I can see it. I see where you're all coming from. I can't fully reach there with you, you know? So I don't know. And Vito got laid. Good for him. He fucked a mustachioed gentleman by a pond. Good for him, you know? Is that not everyone's goal in life? To fuck a mustachioed man by a pond after riding a motorcycle? I don't know. Am I going anywhere with this? Probably not. Anywho, that's it. That's it for this reaction. I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Sopranos reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.